MK215, aka L1 the Philosopher.
L1 the Philosopher here. Link. We're here to talk about 90s. You know, Seinfeld, Biggie and Pac, Ross and Rachel, the Jordan Bulls. And a tsunami boom. Anime was a interesting relationship over here in America. We didn't have easy access. The internet's nowhere near what it is now. I mean, we barely had dial-up in my house. I don't even think we even had AOL. Probably like Netgear or something like that. The only time you really could see anime if it was on WB before the tsunami hit on Cartoon Network. And maybe you could have some connection, somebody who could get some bootleg tapes with some subtitles, but it was rare. So anime in the 90s, to me, is more like the art of Van Gogh. We really didn't appreciate it till it was over. So here, I want to talk about the greatest 5 pieces of anime I have seen that came out of the 90s. I've seen a lot of this stuff after it came out, after the 90s. But still, what is the best of the best? I know you're saying, there was a lot to get into an intro. But we have no choice here. Because it's always that deep. Let's start with number 5, Rurouni Kenshin. Rurouni Kenshin is special to me. I seen it a couple years after it came out in the early 2000s. It came out near the mid-90s, 96 to 98. It's nice to see a character who's a former samurai who destroyed so many people in a war and now lives his life to protect the innocents, to try to balance that out. Rurouni Kenshin is a sword samurai-based anime. He walks around with a reverse blade sword, so people understand he means peace first. But when things get real, he has no problem turning that blade the other way around. Number 4, I'm gonna go with Akira. This movie is different. I mean, I've seen it in like 2007. It came out in 1990. It's the first huge anime to come over here, and definitely in the theaters. It was huge. It was ambitious. It was the first thing I seen that was cyberpunk. To see the movie show drug addiction, to show gang violence and somebody experimentation when it comes to the government. It was different, it was unique, and it was scary because it represented a lot of themes in life that people seem to run away from. For this movie to attack it in the early of 1990 and give it to the world, well, shook up anime forever. And that's why it's my number 4. Now at number 3, well, this is an easy one. This is something I seen in the 90s in America while it was being shown to us, thanks to the WB early mornings. That was Sailor Moon. Come on, man. She's fighting evil by moonlight and winning love by daylight. You can't deny the first Magic Girl anime that came to America dominated. I watched Sailor Moon, I watched the Sailor Scouts, I watched Tuxedo Mask. Get it in. I don't like how that came out. I didn't watch them I didn't watch that type of stuff then. Okay. I saw them fight their enemy to save the universe and the world. But again, it's one of the most important animes that happened in that time. So I can't ignore it, and I watched the whole series while I was on TV. And that's why it's my number 3. Now number 2. This is the anime that got me in anime. The one that started it all. That's Dragon Ball Z. Over here in the West, I've seen how I've seen Sailor Moon. Early morning, first time seeing Raditz come down, telling Goku he's an alien now. Over here, we haven't seen Dragon Ball first. We already started with Dragon Ball Z. Until we hit Toonami and we got to see the whole series. It changed everything. Dragon Ball Z is my whole teenage life, my early teens into graduation of high school. Seeing every episode changed me, right? And then when I got him older and seeing that I could buy the orange brick sets in the store, that got me want to buy more anime. Started my collection and started my anime journey. So if it wasn't for Dragon Ball Z, I wouldn't be here today talking about anime and why it's so great. And that's why it's at my number 2. Now at my number 1, the best piece of work that I've seen that come out of the 90s. But that's Yu Yu Hakusho. Can't lie. I seen Yu Yu Hakusho probably 2008, 2007. It came out in 1992. It's a special anime. Yusuke Urameshi, the main character, is the best main character I have seen in the 90s. It's more relatable, more understandable. Becoming the demon detective, I believe, right? Basically the demon slayer. See how that worked there. And his journey on becoming this thing to help save the earth and save people he cared about and people he didn't think he cared about. Just seeing Yusuke and him and his friends and his enemy friends like Hiei on their journey, that's the best piece of art I've seen that came out of the 90s. And that was my list. What is your list? What is the top 5 film, series, anything together that would be in your top 5 pieces of art you've seen that came out of the 90s? There's a lot of other stuff we didn't name. Well, of course, the Pokemon, the Princess Mononoke, the Ghost in the Shell. It's a lot of great things. Evangelion. It's a lot of great things. A lot of great art. A lot of great anime. So that was the end of my video. And I hope y'all hit that like button, subscribe, and follow this journey. Wow. And follow this journey on It's That Deep. Because it's that deep.